Get out and stay out, my dad shouted. They kicked me out for dropping out of law school. The words still echo in my mind, sharp and brutal. Get out and stay out. You're no daughter of mine. That night, I stood on my childhood porch with just $200 and a single suitcase, utterly lost. Today, I'm watching the sunrise from my $30 million Malibu mansion, and the view is nothing short of a miracle. The journey from that doorstep to this balcony wasn't just hard, it was a complete transformation. It's a story of turning pain into power, and I want to share every raw, honest detail with you. I grew up in a really average neighborhood in Denver, Colorado. Our house was nothing special, 4 bedrooms, faded blue siding, and a yard just big enough for a swing set. But for my father, Frank Blackwood, that house represented failure. He always dreamed bigger, talked bigger, and somehow it was always someone else's fault when reality didn't match his expectations. Dad was a sales manager, decent at his job, but never exceptional. That mediocrity gnawed at him daily, turning him into this pressure cooker of resentment that would inevitably explode on anyone nearby, usually me. He'd come home, loosen his tie, and immediately find something to criticize. The house wasn't clean enough. Dinner wasn't ready on time. My grades weren't perfect enough. Stephanie, he'd say, examining my report card with a 98% on a calculus test, what happened to the other 2 points? Never mind that I had the highest score in the class. In Frank Blackwood's house, excellence was just the minimum expectation. My mother, Grace, was beautiful in that quiet, understated way. She had warm brown eyes that crinkled at the corners when she smiled, which, honestly, became rarer and rarer as the years went by. Mom had been an art teacher before marrying Dad, but he convinced her to quit when my brother Jason was born. A Blackwood wife doesn't work, he declared, as if bestowing some great honor upon her. I watched over the years as her artistic spirit slowly withered under his control. She loved us fiercely, but silently. When Dad would rage, she'd wait until he stormed off, then slip into our rooms with a gentle touch and whispered encouragement. This will pass, she'd say. But we both knew it never really did. She was the buffer between his anger and us, absorbing the worst of it herself. Looking back, I realized she was trapped in her own way, financially dependent, and emotionally manipulated into believing she couldn't survive without him. Then there was my brother Jason, 2 years older, and the golden child. He played football, got decent grades, and most importantly, he worshipped our father. He followed Dad's blueprint without question: business degree, corporate job, marrying his college girlfriend, Heather, before they'd even figured out who they were as individuals. Dad beamed with pride at everything Jason did, while finding fault with everything I pursued. I discovered computers when I was 12. My grandmother, Lillian, Mom's mother, and the only person who ever stood up to my father, gave me a refurbished laptop for my birthday. Dad was furious, calling it a distraction from real studies. But Grandma Lillian held firm. The girl has a mind of her own, Frank, she said during one of their tense standoffs in our living room. And thank God for that. Full story on channel, link below. Watch what happened next.